Evening, Shaggy SoCal with 2Old4Forza, and back to more normal scheduled programming. It's time for a TNT 38 track guide for next Thursday's race at Bathurst in the Radical RXC. Special treat for you guys, at least this week and next, since there is the Joseph Newgarden Bounty Hunter event at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In an Indy car, I always kind of break out my old Fanatec wheel from my Xbox 360 days, and then a couple of Christmases ago, I got a drive hub that has allowed me to hook it up to my Xbox. And again, I'm kind of wired up like a Christmas tree here because all the wiring, from the wheel into the drive hub, into the controller, into the Xbox, and then I have to have a second wired controller for the headset so that I can have the headset on with the microphone, so I can babble incessantly as I try to talk you around the track. Um, so so hopefully this will hold together. It held together pretty well when I was doing the Newgarden rivals, though. Though the funny thing is, the controller the headset was on decided that I hadn't used it in a while, so it turned off, and then all of a sudden I lost. It's like, wait, what happened to the sound? Did I not charge the headset? So hopefully everything will work fine. But at this point, I'm going to just kind of talk around, kind of do what I normally do. So I'm actually going to do a test drive, and let's do a lap. I think I have this. Oh, wait. You want to change this? That's better. So I'm going to do a lap. I'm just going to do a quick flyer to refresh my memory. Oh, I forgot to do that. Okay, so okay. Because I'm not that good. Yeah, that'll help. Okay. I'm just going to do a lap just to kind of call it an installation lap. I just want to make sure everything's working right with the wheel, that it's giving me the feedback that I need, and okay, that's going to be a problem. And by problem, whoops, this is where it happens when I look away. By problem, I'm talking the foot pedal. There you go. Just trying to get the pedals situated so that when I switch to the brake, I'm not, oops, no. You would think I would have done all of this before turning on the stream. So here you get to watch me struggle. Hashtag struggle bus. Up a little bit. Legs a little more room. I'm trying to line up all my excuses now when I completely suck and spin out. Whoops, like that. And like that. This is the one thing I miss about the controllers is the haptic feedback and the triggers to let me know when spinning the tires up. So I got to retrain my brain. Down Conrad straight. Chase. Throttle. I find that I'm much clunkier on my downshifts than my upshifts. I was like, no, downshift, downshift. Okay, so let's take a slow lap. I'll tell you kind of what, because I did about 5 or 6 laps last night with the wheel, and then we'll kind of talk y'all through this, or at least what I think is going to go on. So first corner, obviously, is going to be hell corner, and of course, I don't remember exactly when I'm going to brake, but I think I pretty much brake where the braking line goes red, especially now that I'm on the wheel. I'm finding, I think I'd said this on my test run last night. With the controller, I could be very aggressive and very quick getting from gas to brake and brake to gas, and almost in sometimes maybe even mixing the pedals as I transition. Very easy when you've got triggers handy and 2 fingers. For my setup here, I can't left foot brake, so I am going back and forth with my right foot, and since I got big lazy feet, it does take a second to do that transition. So I'm still kind of trying to relearn that. I can't brake as deep as maybe I used to be able to with a controller. But in any case, this I believe once I'm up to speed, I think this turn here, I think you can do this one in 3rd gear. And hell corner, I think this is hell corner. Yep, hell corner. Pretty standard 90 degree. Bring it out. You've got a little room on the exit here if you need it. If you get pushed wide out of there, it's probably one of the easiest turns, at least compared to what's coming up. So heading up the mountain straight, clicking it up through the gears, 4th into 5th. Again, I think, in my own practice, because I've been focusing on other things, I've been winding it all the way up to rev limiter. But I really think you probably can get away with upshifting just past red line, and keep it in the torque curve. For first corner here, and I pass the braking point, usually the braking line is going to correspond with the STP sign straight behind us up to where this access road is. That's usually where I'm going to be aiming to brake. And 5th gear down to 3rd. To me, this felt best in 3rd gear. Just rotate the car in, and roll back onto the throttle. Really, at least for me, with the setup I'm running, I can't be as aggressive as I was on a controller on the throttle. So a lot of cases, I've been trying to learn how to roll back in and maybe get to like 75-80%. And then when the car gets straight, then I can be a little more of a light switch to get that last, 20% throttle back to full throttle without worrying about getting the back end loose or spinning the rear tires. So up here, I think this is 4th gear. Over to the right side. Usually what I've been doing here is I don't charge into this corner on the wheel. So I'll just ease off the gas a little bit, bring it in, and somewhere between the tree here on the left and the tree on the right, this first tree on the right, is where I'll kind of start braking for the corner. And I'll straight line brake it out here, down to 2nd, and then turn in. I think this is the cutting. Pull the track map up again. I try to take a wider entry in here and exit, and I'm slowly trying to roll back into the throttle. You don't want to get, at least for me, with the way this car seems to be handling for me on the wheel, I'm not really getting back to full throttle until I'm pretty much out straight ahead, pointed, kind of angled to where I'm going to, be on the inside of the kink here, heading up towards, let's see, where's our Griffin's been cutting? Well, I'm going to stop looking at the track map because that's not going to help you guys. I just want it straight ahead. I'll probably be 75-80% throttle. Once I know the car is straight, then I'll roll into the rest of the throttle from 2nd gear up through 3rd. Cut it to the inside here. Just let the car drift out to the wall. Now we get into the fun part. So these next sections between here all the way through to Skyline is really going to be smooth steering. You're gonna feather the throttle. You're just gonna be, at least for me, there's just places I'm just easing off the throttle just to help the car turn a little easier. Again, the way the setup is, it's got a little bit of push, especially when you're on throttle and you're trying to take it through a turn. So sometimes just as you're going in, just easing up a little bit just allows the front tires to get a little bit of grip. Plus, there's a couple places as well because of the way this section, you know, you know, has twists and elevation changes, and you're cresting over hills as you're turning. You're going to want to just be mindful of the throttle, just out of it a little bit, just to help the car settle, and then roll back into it. So turn in for here is as I'm passing this tree, I'll start to turn the car in. If I do it right, maybe I don't have to lift all that much, but probably just a little lift. Probably what will happen is I'll be late and then I'll be way over here early. Bring the car back across, back to full throttle here, probably up to fourth at this point. Down the hill. As I'm coming down the hill here, see this light pole, or this pole that's just past, that's just to the right of the mirror? That I'm kind of keeping that in the peripheral. As I pass that, I want to have the car out on the right side as I'm passing that pole, and that'll help me start bringing the car back across. I think I've been able to stay on throttle here. Usually I'm easing up off the throttle just as I'm starting to crest the hill. This if you get it wrong, you carry too much speed in the front end, it's already going to start to push because that's the way the setup is. It's got that little bit of push to it, but then you're also cresting a hill, which is going to lighten the front as well, even more, and start pushing you to the outside wall. You also want to be careful. You don't want to come all the way out of the throttle all of a sudden cresting this hill, because then that's going to unweight the back end and it might slide out as well. So this one, again, as you're coming through, as you're driving through, it's probably just a little lift to keep the car balanced as you crest this hill. Back to full throttle. Line it up on the outside here. Probably still in fourth. And this gentleman right here at this flag stand is usually what I've been using to help kind of line me up. I want to be on the right side. As I'm passing him and cresting this hill, that's when I'm going to start the turn in. I think when I get into rhythm, I differ from what the suggested line is going to tell you. The suggested line wants you to stay to the outside a little more and then maybe take a later turn in and late apex this one. I tend not to do that. I tend to turn in a lot earlier and try to get to, you can see the curbing there on the inside. Actually, I try to get the car here and roll back into the throttle and carry that out. The car does push through there. So just on entry, again, it's probably just a little lift to help the car turn in, roll back in and get on the gas on the way out. A couple of times when I was doing laps, the back end will skate a little bit. As you're kind of exiting, you might feel the back tires spin up a little bit, and the back end just want to rotate the car just that smidgen more. I don't recall having to really back out of it, to stop from oversteering. But just know that the back end is going to be a little playful through there. At this point, you'll probably be able to shift it up to fifth, heading down to Skyline. This one I'm still trying to get sorted with the wheel, but typically, I'm bringing the car over on this side, using the sign here right on the left, in kind of conjunction with the Audi sign in front of us, to kind of get an idea of where I'm going to start braking down into here. So I'll probably be braking just as I pass this sign. And ultimately, I'm trying to go as straight as possible. So I'll be in fifth at this point, bring it down to fourth, probably let off the brake here to let the car roll. Maybe grab a little curb there, brake here, get it to the inside, bring it down to third, and then hug the inside. Now this is, I believe, the dipper. And I've done this. This is another one of those, kind of like one of the previous tracks where I talk about, depending on the gear that you're in, you're either going to put the car on its toes or you have it more on its heels. Third is the more on its heels, and I think at least for me on the wheel, that I felt was more comfortable than being in second. I think second was a little too on its toes given how tight and the elevation change here for the dipper. So again, third gear, try to keep the car to the right so that when you come down through the dipper, you know, at the apex, you're kind of pointed at the apex to the next part, and you can start rolling back into the throttle. Third gear. I don't know if I'll be up in fourth in this one, or I might leave it in third. This is another corner that's easy. That's easy to get wrong. It's heading down into Forest Elbow. You're gonna let off the gas just to help the car turn and keep it to the right side. A couple of times I found that as I'm turning in, if I came off the gas too suddenly, the back end will start to rotate out. It'll get a little bit light. So just be mindful of that. Let off the gas here, down, brake, 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 brake on the right side, down to second, and then turn into, I think this is Forest Elbow, heading down to the Conrad Straight. All the way out, back up to speed, second, third, fourth, fifth. Well, you'll shift to fifth a little further down. So you'll be in fifth all the way down through here. I think most of you guys, this is the easy part. Now, I know supercars and the GT, when they race here at Bathurst, they actually like crossing the line out here and using as much of this road as possible to set up the turn here into the chase. I don't. I'll usually just keep it right on the line, and it's a very easy turn in, full throttle for the chase. Braking line, actually, when it's telling you to brake, is pretty accurate. I'm guessing I'll probably brake somewhere around where this red wall starts, just past that STP sign, somewhere in here. Fifth gear, down to third. I'm still trying to get the braking balanced here, where I'm getting enough braking done so that I can release and turn in. But this one I like to try and do a late apex so that it opens up this right-hander. And this is tough for me to actually roll back into the throttle too without spinning up the rear tires or pushing off into the left side there. And then down into the last turn, which I think is Murray Corner. And then this one I'm kind of gauging it off of, the braking line, but I'm also using the pit entry paint here to help kind of gauge where it's going to be best for me to brake. But then this one for me, I think, is also a third gear corner. Turning in, you may be able to get a little bit of curve there, out, and onto the front straight. So really, I think just in the few laps I've done, I think the hardest part for this track is going to be going across the mountain in this car, and really going across the mountain with any speed and consistency. So I would say for practice, I wouldn't worry about outright pace. I would get consistent first, where you can bang laps out, consistent pace. That, even though it might not be outright faster, if you can make fewer mistakes, especially going across the top of the mountain, compared to everybody else, you might start picking up positions. I would imagine a lot of people are going to be going off the gravel at Skyline. It wouldn't surprise me to see people spinning out, getting on the power, heading up towards, out of the cutting. We've raced here enough in other cars. We kind of know the trouble areas where people are going to go off the track or they're going to clout the wall. So just be mindful of that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a race now. Let me get out of... Ooh, that's new. Never noticed that before. Yeah, that's not... Don't show that message again. Push feedback scale 100, steering lock angle. That's fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and finish test drive. And so for this Fanatec wheel that I'm running, let me just go through as far as how I'm set up. This is brand new, so let's go to assist. So this is the assists I'm running. I did try simulation steering the other night. Yeah, no. No, not going to work. I I used to be able to do sim steering with the Fanatec wheel. I used to be able to do that in Forza 4 on the 360. I can't do that now. I went across the top of the mountain and had just a moment of oversteer, and it snapped me back the other way. No, but I am not going to have TC and stability still turned off. Manual shifting, fuel tires for wear, and ABS is off as well. So that's there. Now for the wheel itself, for those that care to know these things, let's see. Sensitivity. I'm running 560 degrees of rotation. Force feedback, because I'm a wuss, I'm at 40% right now. Let's see, what was show? SHO. Let me pull the Fanatec manual back up again. Let's see, what was show? SHO. Oh, shock vibration. Looks like it's set to 100 for whatever that's worth. Drift mode is off. ABS I've got set at 50. Running the Fanatec manual. Linearity setting from steps of 10 from 0 to 100% is 0. So I want, if you like to have the precision around the center of a large steering angle, but the advantage of fast movements of a short note, and change the linear of the steering as the car works slowly around the center and make later moves. Yeah. You can tell I don't spend a lot of time trying to tune these. Dead zone was 10. Spring setting 0. ACL. Oh, that's the auto clutch trick that I don't think works on that. It used to work on the 360. It was basically it would map the clutch and the shift buttons to the paddle shift, so you could run manual with clutch and just with the advantage of just clicking the flappy paddle. And that was pretty much it for that. So anyhow, again, I don't spend a lot of time, resetting this up or fine tuning it. I'm just going to run with what I got. And with that, I did change the opponent slightly because I figured I don't know if I'm going to be any faster. I'm not going to be any faster than I am on the controller. It's a question of how much slower am I going to be. So for this, for bucket 1, I'm going to send Forza GT cars out. Bucket 2 is going to be Forza P2. Starting 30 seconds after them, 45 seconds after P2 cars, we'll do the P1, and then I'll start 60 seconds back, and we'll see if I catch anybody. This could be really boring. I'm hoping that I'm fast enough that I can catch the GT cars. I don't know about the P1 or P2 if I'm going to have the pace to keep up with them. On the controller, yeah, I'd probably be putting Indy cars in there, as kind of the fast guys. But anyhow, enough bragging. Let's go racing. I think the hardest thing for me has been readapting on the pedals. Again, I can't get as quick, from gas to brake and brake to gas. And the other thing is that I'm so used to the haptic trigger feedback on the controller that will give me the specific vibrations for, hey, I'm spinning tires, or even threshold. I mean, the left trigger will vibrate. There's this very specific vibration it'll give when you're right on threshold braking, right before locking up the brakes, that I've just gotten used to, and it's like I don't have that anymore. I've actually got to pay a little closer attention to what the tires are doing. So, okay, vaya con Dios. And away we go. Actually, forget what I said earlier. Second gear. Second gear for Hell Corner. See if that is consistent throughout the race. Axis Pro. Third. He's off. I'm a little slow out of there, and that's just because I haven't quite. I don't trust my right foot on the throttle to know when the wheels are going to start spinning up. Ooh, that's bad. Don't do that. I was thinking it was third, and I think both these corners are second gear corners. And I say that, and then I do Hell Corner in third. Okay, yeah, third. Ooh, that's a little late. Oh, there it goes. There's the example of lift-off oversteer. Ooh, too many downshifts. So yeah, it looks like the last red part of the pit lane entry. You know, if you can't see the braking line, you know, that final wide red painted part of the pit lane on the left side is a good good thing to keep track of. So it's not impossible to do that, but the other guy's got to cooperate. Oh, this is where I'm not paying attention. Hello, Mr. Porsche. I'm in a Porsche sandwich. Yeah, he's always horrible there. I gotta relearn how to get that left and keep the back end in line. Left, right. Yeah, I know my left and my right. If I had some steering on, I'd be in the gravel backwards. Oh. Excuse me. Gotta remember I can turn the wheel a little far. Turn the wheel a little more than I think I can. And again, horrible AI. They're going to get a lot of bounce braking for that corner. Maybe trail braking into there might be the best thing to do. Which way are you going? Excuse me. Excuse me. Ooh. No pushing wide there. Sorry about that. It's the the controller the headset's hooked up to decided to turn off, and it's very tough to drive when you can't hear. Hopefully the mic's working again. I'm going to pit about, it's an 18 lap race. I'll pit at the end of lap 9. Yeah, there's the back end kicking out a little bit. I'm pushing. I want to see how. Cut out again. That's weird. Well, it might be because of the spin, but the graph. That's what I wanted. I'm using the rears up a lot more. Then the fronts, controllers, it'd may almost be the opposite. I'd be chewing the fronts up, but the rears might be. Anyhow, I'm just used to seeing with the controller. I'm used to seeing my fronts light up first, as far as going to yellow. All right, now for braking into pit lane, braking right at the white line on the right side there. And in. I guess the question is now, I would have thought the AI would have been, or I would have been a little closer to the AI's pace. I guess the question is, will I catch the tail end feel? Yeah, I think second gear is better for the last corner. And I'm torn here. I think you're fine in third. I mean, obviously, if you're in traffic, second, maybe. Nope. Yeah, I like third through there. Ooh, a little bit of a bump there. Almost cut that a little too much. Whoops. I was contemplating. It's like, do I want to back off and try and set a faster lap, or do I just want to just race the traffic for the last 5 laps? I think I'll just race the traffic. Whatever will be, will be. Oh, I'm going by. That almost ended badly. I tried to time that to where I'd stay on the outside as he took the regular line through, and I just caught him a lot quicker than I thought. Stay on that side, stay over there. Thank you. I must have more patience. There you go. Have some grass. Oh, that was bad. Well, I've established I'm good on my own, but not in traffic. Yeah, if you cut Hell Corner that much, just wait a second till you're kind of back on the road and straight before you really roll back into the throttle. Hey, be patient, be patient, be patient, patient. Very narrow up here, not a lot of places to pass. We'll get one or two here. I'm going for all three. Late there. Actually, I was worried that I had dropped the right sides off. I was going to go sliding. There's a bump here. The car bottom's right there. Right at the bottom. That could have been better. Try one last. I'm going to give myself a little room, see if I can get one last flyer. just screwed myself with the guy behind me. Yep. Alright. That's not gonna work. This lap's gonna be dirty too, so. I tried. Wanted to see if I could. There's still a little time out here. Not much, but. What can happen if you charge in there too fast? You get on the brakes, the car's not going to turn enough. Right at the bottom of this dip, you might feel a bump in the force feedback. But that's Bathurst in the Radical RXC. So, yeah, again, the race is going to be won or lost, but how consistent and clean you can be across the top of the mountain. And, yeah, you guys race against each other enough to know what you can do, what you can't. But when you get a lap together right, it's pretty cool. And actually, I'm kind of like, maybe I should have been breaking this wheel out a lot sooner. But with that, I'm going to call it a night. You guys have a great weekend and happy racing. Oh, actually, before I go, I'm just kind of looking at the race time and how many laps I did. Expect, let's see, 18 to 36 laps in and about. So, it's going to be a long race. But with that, have a good evening. Happy racing.